Hey, shalom, shalom. May the real Hebrew Israelites come to you week in and week out, prophesying the return of the Messiah and his heavenly Son. All praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yoshai, Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles out of New York, Great Millstone, King Mass. Honors to all Akim on the planet, lifting up the name of Yahweh Yahushai in truth and sincerity. This is Reggie Ryan from Great Millstone, Chicago. And I'm just going to go into a quick lesson. As you see in the title of the screen, it says Uproars to the people, this is the end. Just want to give you a couple of examples of what's going on across the world today. I'll play the first video.
Folks, this is Queen Nandi Drive now this morning. Cars shot out left here. Millions of rands of the stuff littering everywhere. That's the warehouse on fire. Petrol station looted. Appliances, millions of rands of the stuff all over. Trucks, full.
All right, so you see that's South Africa. It's littered with aftermath of all the riots that were going down there and the looting and so forth. All right, so like I'm going to stop this so I can you go into this, the matter of fact, I'm going to go with this way because I don't want to put out too much information out there. So I can. All right. So that was South Africa. All right. So now, but then guess what? You go into a war zone in Beirut. War zone in Beirut. And you'll see that there is what's it now? Let's go into that. You go to YouTube, Slack it. Warzone. In Beirut. And here you go. So you saw the first one was South Africa. This one is Beirut. This one here is Cuba. Cracks down on protests. Yeah, here goes another one. Now this is Cuba. So we showed you South Africa,
at least
Beirut,
80 demonstrators involved with.
And now we showed you started with South Africa, then we're going to Beirut, and now we're going to Cuba.
Recent protests have been arrested amid the worst economic crisis the country has seen in decades. NBC News Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Andrea Mitchell has the latest.
Thousands of demonstrators spilling into the streets of Cuba this weekend, calling for an end to the 62-year communist regime. Chants of "We want freedom" echoing through the streets. Protesters dumping trash and throwing rocks. Demonstrations sparked by chronic food shortages and blackouts. In Miami, protests in solidarity with Havana.
We've been waiting for change for so long.
Maria Figueroa has family in Cuba.
I don't even know what their situation is right now.
an economic crisis exacerbated by the pandemic, and no access to approved COVID vaccines. A perfect storm for anti-regime anger that spread rapidly as more Cubans recently gained access to the internet. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel today blaming the unrest on U.S. sanctions.
Al desabastecimiento de
All right, so I'm not, like I said, this is an 8-minute video. I'm not playing all that. I'm just showing. This is the whole point of this, is to show you. So far in South Africa, then we went to Beirut. Now we're in Cuba. Now I'm going to show
Lack
you.
of medicinal food. All those topics that are embedded in
I'm
your
going to show
society.
you in Nigeria, starving after raiding a warehouse.
This is the government we vote for. This is a palliative they promise that we are bringing. This is Plateau State Jobs. Today's date is 24th of October. This is what is happening in Jos City. This is what is happening in Jos City. This is Jos City. You can see the masses. Everybody wants to get food to eat. What the government? What the government? Look how people are struggling. People are struggling to have food. Look at people. Look at, okay, let's look at the hold on. Let's take a look at the hold on of Plateau State today. No way entrance. No way out. Look at the hold on. Okay, let's look at the outside. We are trying to go out from Jos City. Can you see the hold up? Can you see the cars?
All right, so you see what's going on in Nigeria. Now we can go back to a couple of months ago. This whole year, this has all been going on all this year. See, dozens did as anti-government. Did that pull it up? Dozens did is here, perfect. Yeah, that's the one I want.
Now, in Colombia, demonstrations which started against proposed tax reforms have turned into countrywide protests against poverty, inequality, and unemployment. Nearly 50 people have died in violence. The pandemic has pushed millions of Colombians into destitution, with indigenous groups among the hardest hit. Inigo Gilmore reports now from Bogota, and a warning: this report does contain some disturbing images.
Once again, they're taking to the streets of Colombia's capital, making their voices heard. This march against poverty and inequality has a morbid theme: civilian deaths at the hands of police, driving protesters to take to the streets in their thousands. Despite the COVID crisis ravaging the country. Before long, a confrontation erupts. Protesters retreat under a volley of tear gas, but no one's giving up.
Toda Colombia le está diciendo que abra el diálogo, porque lo que necesitamos con nuestros dirigentes es diálogo, y no lo ha hecho. Entonces, ¿cuántas muertes necesitan? Porque no vamos a parar.
As unrest sweeps Colombia, pro-government media has denounced the protesters as vandals wreaking havoc, focusing on images like these. Here a mob sets fire to a police station in a poor Bogota suburb. Some officers are beaten as they escape. But protesters insist that they're being brutally targeted at their peaceful demonstrations, which were initially triggered by plans for government tax reforms, seen as favouring the wealthy over the poor, at a time when the COVID-ravaged economy was disintegrating. Even though the proposed laws were withdrawn, many protesters feel compelled to continue, as cities are convulsed in war.
As you see that going crazy, you got some more. Like I said, you can see these ads and these videos to watch it.
Les idéologies qui déplacées dans l'autre pays qui contribuent dans le pays, qui lui fait ça, qui le crime ça. Donc nous-mêmes, Haïtiens, nous considérons que nous ne sommes pas d'accord. Et je dis, c'est, on dit, donc nous-mêmes nous prêts pour nous faire tout ça qui est parce que moun sa yo qui voit moun sa nous connaissons yo faut nous gagner des background pour que la justice même lui fait suivi comme ça.
All right, so that was in Haiti. Now this is over here in Venezuela.
Is in a crisis due to the poor financial management and crippling American sanctions. The Venezuelan economy is in the grip of a galloping hyperinflation. And in this economic turmoil, many across the country are now taking to smuggling cigarettes to somehow try and make ends meet. Take a look.
Smoking is injurious to health, but in an economy battered by hyperinflation and scarcity of foreign goods due to restrictive US sanctions, smuggling cigarettes has emerged as a means of getting by. Kiosk after kiosk has sprung up in Caracas, where people sell smuggled cigarettes at a premium.
I guess that is because of the situation, the crisis in the country, how the country is doing. 3.5 million bolivars. No one earns 3.5 million bolivars in a week. People earn 600,000 bolivars. As soon as they get paid, they will go and buy a cigarette that costs 80,000 bolivars, which is the cheapest.
Cigarettes are seen as sin goods. Around the world, governments resort to taxing them at an exorbitant rate. This serves a twin purpose. Firstly, the prohibitive price reduces cigarette consumption, and secondly, it adds substantially to the government treasury. Now, since 2019, consumption of smuggled cigarettes has shot up by over 300%. As the government receives no tax in the sale of smuggled cigarettes, the loss to the exchequer is estimated to be a staggering $130 million.
Now they focusing on the smugglers aspect, but if you go into the riots, the civil distress, and all the things that went down in Venezuela, these are the things that are coming around the world, and that's why. And trust me, I can go. Matter of fact, there's different website that go categorize all the protests, all the riots, all the civil distress that's going on worldwide, and you can see over the last several years, there's been nothing but just worldwide problems, protests, riots, trouble. Okay. So I have a couple of scriptures and I'm gonna let it go. This is 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter and 1st verse. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I've told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, which is why all these chariots and UFO sightings have been popping over everywhere. All right. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right. So this is time the Lord's coming back. It's that simple, man. Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? So it's already started. The Lord already started his work. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right. So right now we're in the period of this uproars of the people, tumults of the people. Right. Let me see if I can find that one. See the people. Right. Let's see. Probably be in the second one. But this is what we're going through, man. People are tired. People are fed up. People are crying out and saying, fuck it, I don't have enough food. Oh, fuck it, the government's fucked up. Oh, you're trying to make me take stab and jabs. Oh, we're not dealing with this. Oh, we're not dealing with that. And the bottom line is the people are fed up. The Most High is fed up. And this is the culmination of the shit that's about to make this place come down. And the Lord says, when you see the signs and the uproars, people know that I'm about to visit the world that I made. And I'm about to fuck this place up for all the abominations committed on this place. And first and foremost for the debauchery and the taking down of the chosen people of the Heavenly Father, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and the speckled bird scattered abroad. All right, and that's the point. And that's the main story. And this is what's going on, and nobody is putting it to heart. Okay, Kazak Ban Yehodah put in Luke 21:34, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day comes upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come upon all of them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. And this is the time we're living in. Mashah Banyam in Revelation 16:15, behold, I come as a thief. Be blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see shame. All right. Kazak again with Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding that the will of the Lord, what the will of the Lord is. All right. So these are the things the Lord is showing us. Either you jump on and you get in board right now before it's too late, man. It's already started. It's already been kindled. Every day there's another riot. Every day there's another protest. Every day there's another country with civil distress according to what's going on in this world today. So just trying to, continue to do our job and warn the people, give the evidence, and hopefully our people wake up. Hopefully this has been edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shem HaMakakadash. Double honors to the apostles out in New York, the great millstone GMS, honors to all occupants around the planet. They're lifting up the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shai in truth and sincerity. I got one more because I just saw this one. I got to read this one. Kazak Ban Yahweh does Sirach 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. It's done. This place is done. Okay? And this is more evidence of it. So hopefully this has been edifying. Shalom and Bible Ball.